What, this lighting is terrible.
Yeah, I thought you were in a church, but what is it? What's all? What's in the small?
I'm in my
It's pot.
entryway.
It's all different kinds of pot.
Sand.
Oh, sand. Another beauty check and another beauty check.
Sorry. How's my hair? Are we rolling? We're rolling.
Rolling.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to my world. This is That Porsche Girl, zooming into you. My name is Lara, and today my guest is Bart Kuykens. He is a photographer from Antwerp, Belgium, and a really good friend of mine. Hi, well.
Hi.
Oh my God. My favorite photographer decided to join me today. Bart Kuykens. Now, let's go over
Yeah.
Kuykens.
Kuykens.
Yeah, you have to
I've been
roll.
struggling with this name for forever. Everywhere I go, it's like Kuykens, Kuykens, whatever it is. It's even Bart is a problem, even in the States.
Bart is actually, if we just juxtapose the letters, we know it's Brat, which is more fitting.
It's easier as well.
So let's talk about me.
Okay, of course.
You kind of reached out to me when I started That Porsche Girl, and I don't think you realized that Porsche Girl was 2 days old. And you reached out to me. What were you thinking? And thank you, by the way.
What was I thinking? To be honest, I don't know anymore. It's so long ago. I probably saw you coming by on Instagram. I said to myself, "Wow, it looks like an amazing girl with a Porsche." So I have to shoot her, because the thing is, when you're doing a book about cars, it's easy to find guys, of course, but girls with the car is not that common, or you really have to look for them. And I want the real ones. I don't want the girl who has a car because her dad has a car. I want. I'm not saying you're not passionate when your dad is a Porsche, but you know what I mean. You have a car of your own, and I was really looking for that kind of women. So yeah, I was happy that I saw you probably by coincidence on Instagram. I reached out and you said, yeah, why not? Your day fee was a little bit high, but we managed to find a deal. So yeah. No, but it was a lovely afternoon, and it was great to come to Huntington Beach. And I think we had a great couple of hours.
Yeah, so you're talking about this book. In case anybody on the planet doesn't know about this book, A Flat Six Love Affair. Obviously, the C book, which I have made the California book, because everyone's basically from California. Am I correct? In this book?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe one or two. I didn't, but let me quickly see. But I think everybody's from, because I wanted to come to the States so bad, and everybody's from California.
Yeah, I loved being in the C book because it does, well, obviously, I don't know that people all know. I mean, most people do know that it's a series that's kind of started with PORSC. You did H that just came out, and E is next. So is it going to be the Europe book because you can't get over here?
Well, no. The thing is, when I realized I was going to do 7 books, I had the idea of doing the States, Asia, South Africa, but now I'm South America. But now I'm short on letters, because only the E left, and I did so many in Europe already. So I'm gonna come back to the States, because I have a couple of people to shoot in LA. I have a couple to shoot in Miami. And then I will see. Probably I will go to South Africa to my friend Endre Bezuidenhout to shoot 4 or 5 people over there, because I do 35 people a book, more or less. If it's 36, it's also okay. You're limited in the amount of people you can shoot in one book, of course, because you don't want one person per page. You want 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pictures. So yeah, you end up with 35 people, more or less, because the book is 336 pages.
What I loved about you when you reached out, at first I was like, Oh, yeah, okay, a photographer, and another photographer had reached out as well, and he's pretty established as well. And I kind of looked both of you up, and I I was like, oh man, he's worked with Porsche, like he's actually the real deal. Like I kind of blew it off at first, and I was like, oh shoot, I really want to work with him. And then you texted me back, wait, you've only been on for 2 days? And I said, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's it. I've blown it. He's not going to want to shoot me. And then 12 hours went by. And I was like, damn it, I lost it. It's okay. That was a kind of cool thing to happen right away. And then you texted and I checked it and you said, looking forward to our shoot. And I was like, I can't believe he's going to shoot me. This is so awesome because I was so new to the game. And I was actually going out of town. I was going to be in Italy. And then you shot me full jet lag. So sunglasses, wind did a number, and your shooting was pretty great. So I'm really excited, and you put me on the map. So I'll never forget you. I'll never forget you,
It
Bart.
was a pleasure, and I think it's always the best shoots when you don't have that much time and you just go from you know. Um, I always say it, if I prepare a shoot too much and too long, then it's too many things that can go wrong. So most of the time, I just take my camera, 2 rolls of film, clack 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 clack. I see what's available, and we shoot. And most of the time, that's working for me. I don't know. Yeah, everybody has his own modus operandi and approach, and this is my style. And yeah, I think the pictures came out great. Of course, if you have more time and you keep shooting, you might have different pictures. And even if I go through the pictures right now, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I have to use this one or that one. But that's probably for my. Maybe I'm going to do after the 7 books. I'm going to wait a little bit, and maybe I'm going to do then a director's cut with
Yeah.
all and go through all the pictures again and see. Okay, these are my favorite pictures, and these are the pictures which I really like at the moment, but didn't use for the book. Could
Yeah.
be cute
Well,
as well. Could be
yeah, I
interesting.
think I love that. I love the behind the scenes or outtakes or
Yeah,
Polaroids or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, I've modeled pretty much my whole life, and so isn't it obvious? No, I'm kidding. You're like, no, it's not. But the best photographers are the people that are just easy to work with, and you've gotten things from people that I'm sure have never been in front of a camera, other than it's so great when you're doing an interview and people are sawing outside. I think that's always
Oh, I
enjoyable.
thought it
But
was a
anyway,
mosquito.
yeah,
No.
I can just pretend it's a fly. But yeah, it's the best thing is to work with a photographer who is fluid and moving and keeps you going and your energy up, as opposed to having to freeze, set up the light, do the thing, and then by that time your smile's fading and your energy is gone, and you
Yeah.
kind of just keep it going. And it's very simple. So I think it's that's what's been your success probably is that you've been able to capture feelings of people that you know that maybe they didn't even know they could exude in a camera.
Well, I tried, and you saw it, of course, but I shoot fast. Um, I try to talk to the people when they feel confident. I try to make them feel at ease, that they trust me, and then throw in a couple of jokes, and then we just talk, and then I say keep talking, and then they just shoot clack 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 clack, and sometimes they don't realize it, and it's over already, um, and that works for my kind of photography. It probably doesn't work for other stuff, but for what I do, I think it's working, and it for me it's the best way to approach people like this, and it's just my style and it works, and I think yeah, it's fine like this. Yeah,
So during COVID, things have changed, but I've seen you've been going to Paris.
a
Do
little
you
bit.
have a flat there, or what do you do? You go to Paris a lot?
I go to Paris and I go to London most of the time because that's the two easiest cities to go from Antwerp or Brussels with the train, because it's 2 hours Paris with the train, 2 hours London with the train. If you want to go to Amsterdam or Germany, whatever, you have to take the car, which is easy as well. But and these are two big cities in 2 hour reach. So I'm still working on a project, on a fundraiser project in London. So for that reason, I've been to London a couple of times, and Paris the same. So I had a project going on there, and I photographed some people for my next book already. So I did Richard Orlinski. It's a famous artist in Paris. He's doing the sculptures. So So yeah, that's I was lucky that we still couldn't cross the border, still could cross the border for work because otherwise it was getting a little bit boring.
So as far as Porsche, you have one or two Porsches,
I have one at the moment. Yeah. Uh,
and are you? So you've said to me a couple times, oh, the cars, all the cars, but you did a book series on Porsche, so you
yeah.
know,
No, the thing is, the reason why I only have one now because I had at some point I had three. I had the 964 as well and the 914. And for the last 10, 11 years, I've been like, I think everyone in the car scene, they like to change cars because you're always looking for something else. Um, and for me, it was easy. If I wanted something else, I had to sell one because I don't have the money to keep buying them and keep
yeah,
stocking them on top of each other. So if I want something else, I have to sell something. Uh, but then I realized at some point, one car or three cars doesn't make me happier. So I sold two of them, and I promised the kids with the money of the 964, I'm gonna buy them a swimming pool. So this is what I'm going to do. But I only have the 70 now, and it's yeah. The thing is, when you get in a 1970 car, you're going to suffer a little bit because you don't have the heating. We need the heating in Belgium. You don't have the radio, and everybody say, yeah, but the engine sounds like a radio. Yeah, it's true for 15 minutes, and then it's like, oh my god, I want music. So if somebody is riding with you, you can have a normal conversation because you have to yell all the time because of the sound of the engine. If you go to the shop and you have to bring something, it's not working because it doesn't fit in the bag. So you have to compromise as well. So sometimes I like it, and sometimes I think, oh fuck, it's annoying. And then I'm thinking about the 964 again because it's a little bit more comfort.
yeah.
Or for example, if you have to travel, let's say I have a meeting in let's say Hamburg, which is 5 hour drive, 6 hour drive. Uh, I don't really want to do that with the car from 1970. With the 964, you say, okay, boom, and you go. With the 70, it can be tricky,
Yeah,
Um,
I know it
so
well.
yeah, you know how it goes. So now I was looking for a 928 or 944 to have a little bit more comfort, but I think it's a luxury problem that yeah, that
I'm
people
looking
have when they look for another car. You should be happy with one, and that's it.
I'm looking for 991 or 992 because all I want is air conditioning. I have the Macan, but it's just not the same. I can't do drives around here. And by the time I get up to Malibu, it's an hour in the air cooled cars and you're rattled. And so that's why I have so much respect for people who have the 356s like Mark Probanek. I think you shot him, right? Didn't
Oh
you shoot?
yeah, yeah.
Where he drives
Awesome guy.
thousands of miles a year and
Yeah.
turns that dial over a bunch. I have so much respect. I think Egg Adventures as well. She just drives that thing like crazy, and it's just really hard when you don't have air conditioning and you're an air cooled car and people are going out to Palm Springs. I'm like, I I don't know where they get it. So I always tell women, um, like I have a friend who's trying to getting a roller. She's a single girl. And I mean, I have the coffee monkey that loves to work on cars. So not only is he a coffee monkey, he's the car monkey. And I'll be like, I don't like the way it smells right now. He's like, got it. And he loves working on cars. You have to have that passion. And I don't know, I could handle it without him, because it's such a challenge, and there's constantly something going wrong. And
It's always
like my
something.
night,
Yeah.
yeah, always
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And people don't really understand, they say, I want to get one. What do you think I should do? I'm like, well, I mean, you got to go 997 or after, because it's just
Yeah.
not you have to know how to fiddle with cars. Um,
Maybe it's the nature, your nature as a person as well. When I get in the car and I smell something and I'm driving, like,
yeah,
is it the same smell as yesterday, or is something going wrong? And then I start to get not panicking, but like in a mode, like and then you go into a different city, there's a lot of traffic jam, and then you go in a tunnel, and then you hear this and you smell this. Oh my God, this is going to be so. Yeah, and then you want a new one, of course, and then I had the 997 as well, the 4S, and I had the turbo, and I loved it, and it's a beautiful car. but it's a different way of, if you go in, if I see it like this, when I go into the city and I'm in traffic jam or I have to look for a parking place and I come with a 997 turbo, then people look at you like, oh my God, this asshole with a Porsche, you know?
Yes.
And when
Yes.
I'm in the 1970, then people look at me like, hey, that's a cute guy with his old Porsche. And then they open the window like, what year is it? And say 1970. And say, oh, it's my year. I say, yeah, it's not mine, but it's my car. What color? I say, it's GT silver. And then they ask a lot of questions. And
Yep.
when you're with a new car, they just like, they don't look at you like, it's probably a car from his dad or whatever, stupid guy. And then it's different. It's different.
Imagine being a woman with the same situation. I mean, when I get into my commuter car, when I used to have a Prius or a Chevy Volt to get into carpool lane, I drive those.
You
And
had a Prius?
I had three Priuses. I've always had a
Really?
commuter car because
You
like
were
when I,
work,
what?
you work for Uber?
No, here you have to have it for the traffic. So,
Really?
I drive 2,000 miles a month for my job. So I always, when I had got my 997, I was logging a bunch of miles on it. And I said, I can't do this because I was really working a ton. And so I got a Prius right away. And it was funny because the coffee monkey uh, looked at me when I got it and was like, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
not sexy, huh? He goes, not really. No, not really sexy at all. Like going from a 997 to that. So I kept my 997, but when I would put the heavy miles on, I just drove the Prius. And now I forgot my point. um, yeah.
Yeah.
So driving here, it's a challenge. So I have Priuses, but I don't remember why I brought this up because
Yeah,
it
but
really,
I've been in LA a couple of times now, and over the last 2 3 years, and traffic is horrible. So
yeah.
I don't even see the fun in driving.
Hi.
Zeg eens hallo.
What's your name? Hello.
Wat is uw naam? Mil is his name.
Est-ce que papa, est-ce que
Mil,
papa,
no, he doesn't speak French.
no,
No. Zeg het snel.
the papa?
Geef maar een koekje. Geef me een koekje. He always, when I'm going on a Zoom meeting or whatever, he always comes like this. And then the only thing is he wants a cookie. And he knows I'm going to say yes because I want to get rid of him because I'm talking. So, can I have a Coke? So, yeah, take it. Cookie. And then he's going back like this now. Always cookies.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Whatever you need.
So, no, but the traffic in LA, horrible. Always horrible. So I'm thinking this is no fun neither in an old car. You just want a comfortable car with air conditioning, a radio, and you call all the time when you're in the car because it's so boring. It's always
It's a rolling living room. I call it my purse, that the computer cars were my purse. I had all my essentials in there, and what I forgot what I was going to say, but now I remembered when I would drive the 997 or, the 997, the newer cars, I would have people cutting me off, getting pissed, screaming at me, yelling, "You're not that pretty." I'm like, oh my God, it's so crazy. And then the Prius, they're like, no, you go. No, you poor soul. You go, you go. And it's just totally different reactions from people. And especially here in Newport Beach, they're like, ugh, that girl, she sucks. And, but it's funny because I get in the 930 and a girl typically is not in a 930 turbo. And then people they want to race you. So they want to prove you wrong. And so that's another interesting thing, but I'll race them and I'll take them. Luckily, they don't know what's,
But it's weird how people get frustrated and jealous when you drive a Porsche or another car, which the problem is in their eyes, they think it's always because it's Porsche. You have to say Porsche, but I like to say Porsche.
I know, same. I had to learn to say Porsche, and it's still weird for me.
We just say Porsche, but anyway. Everybody always thinks it's a really, really expensive car, which is not the case. It's the case if you buy the new 991 GT3 RS. Of course, it's an expensive car, but a 997 here in Europe, you buy a 997 for, let's say, 35, 40,000 euro. You buy a 997, which is still a lot of money. But if you sell it after 3-4 years, you don't have to sell it for 15. You sell it for maybe 28, 29, 30, and then you drove for 4 years for 2,000.
Yeah.
Maybe 4,000 euro. So you cannot do that with another car. And then you say, the maintenance, but the maintenance of a 997 is not that expensive. No. So it's all a matter of And with an old car, they don't know the value, so they always think it's probably cheap because it's old. So
I
so yeah,
I still think that they got it right with the 997 over even the newer cars. I feel like the size was right, the hips were good, where the 996 is kind of flat-sided, the
yeah,
got the hips on the nice back wheels, high, wide, and you're part of the road, where some of the cars now I'm feeling like they're just a little bit big. But I just actually went up to Porsche Santa Clarita yesterday, and they had on the wall, I guess they have it in Stuttgart as well, on the wall where it shows you the sizes as they kind of grew, and you can it just kind of goes through, and it's not that much bigger, but it just feels so much bigger. That
yeah,
the front fairings are definitely are much bigger, but I feel like I'm looking over the steering wheel when I'm in a 992. It's
yeah.
interesting.
I think the 997 is the last classic one. Even if it's water cooled, it's just you still have the Porsche feeling. It's yeah, it feels a
And
little bit analog car. The
yeah,
991, I'm not really in love with the 991. The 992, I must say, I find it a beautiful car.
really,
It's
I'm the
yeah.
opposite. I like the 991 better than the 9. I like the
Oh,
991 2 better than the 992 because I don't like the back. I like the turbo
no,
tail, but I don't like the back.
no, I love it, especially the front when they cut the the lid. I really like it. But yeah, it's always when a new one comes out, you think, ah, no, and after a while, you think, it's not that bad. The same with the Taycan. If you see it, no. Um, I must say, I'm not really in love with the Taycan. I'm pretty sure you drove it as well. Um, it's like when you go to yeah a roller coaster. It's fun like boot, and then the next time boot, and the third time is like, okay, you know, I know how it works now, and I don't know.
For
It
me,
doesn't really feel like a sport car. It's just like yeah,
for me, the Taycan is a little bit big because, especially in California, I'm looking for a smaller version of that to get around, zip around, and I feel like it's just their big version. I do believe they'll probably come out with a smaller version like the how the Tesla 3 is, and I hope so. They should probably call me because I have so many ideas
mm,
because I'm such a
yeah, I'm pretty
commuter.
sure.
They really should call me. Where's my purse going?
Yeah,
Where's my Starbucks going, guys?
yeah,
But I think that it's really important to think about the actual commuter who's going to be needing that car. Maybe just because I'm from California, and maybe if I lived somewhere in the Midwest where there's open roads everywhere, it would feel different. Um, so you weren't you in the commercial for the 992, or what was that job that you did
yeah.
with Porsche?
Yeah, I was in the official 992 commercial together with, not together because they made three films. One with me, one with Sarah Trimble, and one with an old girl, an old woman in Switzerland. So that was funny because they at some point they called me, and I was doing quite some shoots here and there with my car, and they called me from Germany, and I thought like, hey, it's another photographer who wants to shoot. And he was like, hey, we want to do something for Porsche, but I cannot tell you too much at the moment. Do you want to do it? Say, yeah, whatever. Tell me more. Say, yeah, we call you back next week. And the story was they had a short list from 50 people. Um, and I was the first one they called and said we really want you in because they saw the connection between my work as a photographer analog with my silver Porsche 1970 and then the 992 which was also a silver one. So for them it was a great story. And they asked me, do you want to do it? I said sure. I said, do you want money for it? I said no.
Really?
Yeah, I said, do you want money for it? I said no, it's okay.
Oh,
Because no, maybe in the end later on say fuck, I should have asked money, but I just wanted to do it. It was fun 3 days. I like doing this kind of stuff. The team was great. It was from Germany. They came to Antwerp. We had 3 lovely days. We if it was Fiat, then I would say yeah, I want a little bit of money for it because but this was like Porsche, and I say yeah, of course I want it because I was pretty sure it's going to give me a boost in my Instagram, on my selling of the book, and people will get to know me. So yeah,
it's
I
an
would do it.
it's a real honor for sure to be in a
Yeah,
commercial with Porsche.
and I'm gonna show you. They gave me uh, because I took it like
They gave you a parting prize because they felt
I don't
bad that
know if you can see it, but they gave me at the end. Do you hear me? Yeah.
oh, I no, yeah,
Uh,
I was talking, but you didn't hear me.
okay. And they so after the shoot, they gave me this. Can you see it?
Yeah. Is that your car or theirs?
No, it's the
Two.
992
Yeah.
Turbo, and they say 9911 Hero Story, and they only made three of those.
Oh, that's
It's,
so cool.
it's cool, huh?
Oh,
It's
I
in
love
metal.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, does it drive?
So does it drive? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
remote.
Full
Yeah,
transmission and everything.
yeah. So no,
So,
it was fun. It was fun. Absolutely. Yeah.
so obviously back to your photography, who was besides me, because I know that that was probably really a highlight of
Absolutely.
your
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
Besides discovering me, who has been your favorite shoot, and who do you absolutely want to shoot that you haven't been able to grab yet?
That's a difficult question. For book number 5 or all
Any
of
of
the
the
books
books.
together? Okay.
What's the most memorable shoot that you had where maybe it's not even a famous person, it's just someone who
Um,
was a great shoot?
it's difficult because if you photograph a friend or someone you just find on Instagram and not famous, just someone, then then you give them their um, yeah 15 minutes of fame, and they're really thankful for that shoot. They're really thankful for being in the book, and they become friends, and that's for me. I like that feeling from because they didn't expect it, and that's for me a great feeling. Then on the other hand, you have the famous people, like for example Porsche related people, like Walter Röhl, for example, was for me something like, hey, wow, Walter is nice. And then you have the guys in the States, of course, Jeff Swarter, Patrick Long, Jay Leno, all these guys were icons. It's really, really nice. Magnus. But for me, I must say, I had a lot of fun with shooting Paloma Picasso because it's not really that women, if you think, hey, Paloma, Porsche. So, but she drives a Porsche with her husband. And I visited her in Switzerland, in Lausanne. It was a lovely day, sun was shining. We did the shoot. We stayed there for dinner. We talked a little bit. We kept in touch. So that for me was a nice experience. Um, and now for the rest, let me think. Yeah, it's different memories with everybody. It different kind of feelings as well. So I cannot pick one that I say, okay, I really want to. This is my favorite one, besides you then, because that was the highlight of the series.
Oh,
So
of course. I mean,
of course, but who do I want to shoot for the next one, which is on my list? I know, for example, Bill Gates as a 959,
oh,
and that
does
would, yeah, I've been told. So that would be lovely because that's not the typical guy, Um, so that would be nice. Who else? Michael Jordan
ah,
has a Porsche, and he got my book because a friend of him ordered two books, one for him and one for Michael. So I know he has my book,
oh,
but
that's
that
good.
doesn't, yeah, but that doesn't mean he's going to call me. That's another story, but that would
Well,
be awesome
you
as
gotta
well.
call him, call his people.
Yeah, that's. Do we
Maybe
have his number?
yeah. Well, it's so easy now with social media. I when I was younger, I would have died to have this kind of connection with people. And just the way we've been able to build friendships around the world. I mean, even with you, you're living in Antwerp. I mean, and we're friends. Like, I feel like I have friends all over the world now, that I know I could just go and stay at their homes, and they could come stay here just because we've, you talk so much with certain people that you just feel like they're family almost, which is kind of a
Yeah,
weird thing.
yeah,
And now even more than ever with having our social distancing and all that and having to reach out, um, so many people were doing the Zooms, and we just got to really know a lot of people, and you feel like you know everyone even if you don't. So it's been awesome. All right, so what's next for you other than, you want to continue, you're going to continue the book series, or are you just going to try to branch off, or is there something bigger, a different picture that you would like to do? Is there
yeah.
any aspirations you have outside of photography or beyond?
Well, I like to shoot the portraits as well. So, but the book when I finish my last book number 7, it's over for this series. I think it's nice. It's 7 books. It's been 7 years. It's been a great journey. It's been a great time. But I think it's time for something else now. I don't want to bother people with another book and another book and another book. I'm probably gonna make other books, but a different kind of book. Maybe I do a book, just one book about Asia, and do the
Yeah.
Porsches in Asia, but then don't call it a flat six law affair. And again, 7 books. No, just Asia, different format, maybe square, whatever. And I, as you know, because we talked about it, I still want to do a magazine, but
Yes.
then the focus has to be also on my photography and not on the cars, because there's so many car magazines already which are really really good, that I don't think there's need for another one. So I have a couple of ideas which I'm thinking about, and let's see what happens. But you're probably going to hear from me. Uh,
So, you haven't always been a photographer. Were you an accountant? Were you, I know you did some modeling back in the day. So what kind of job did you have before this? And what made you just go completely into doing photography?
well, for the last 11 or 12 years, I have a casting agency, which is mainly my main business. But because it's because we work online all the time, more and more. Back in the days, you had to go as a model, you had to go to the agency to do your casting, and then everybody was at the model agency doing castings. That time is more or less over. So clients just ask me to send me a PDF with 10 girls between 35 and 45, and I send the PDF and they reply, and we work like this now. So that makes me that gives me the freedom to travel much more than I used to do. So I don't really have to be at the office. So then I started to pick up photography again, and then I started to shoot. Yeah, a friend of mine with a Porsche, and then from there on, we made the first book, and I decided to make a book, and then we decided to make 7. So, but I picked up photography like, let's say, yeah, 7, 8 years ago again. Yeah.
And before that, it was just modeling, and that's why
No,
you got into.
before that it was the casting agency that I had, and then before that I was modeling. Yeah,
Yeah.
between my 20 and my 30, I never really wanted to do it, but you know how it goes. You go from one month to another, and you think, it's not that bad, and let's do it another month, and then before you know, you're doing it for 10 years, and then all of a sudden I woke up and my hair was gone. So I said, okay, this is it. I have to do something else. So
I guess I'll quit when my hair goes.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. I've retired about 6 times officially. That's it. I'm not doing anymore. And then I actually got into casting as well, because I think the castings are the most grueling part about it. And I've had people reach out and have me cast as well for them, because um, I can do it so quickly. And I just know, I'm like, I know what I'm looking for. Let's do this. You're in and out in like 3 minutes. So
yeah,
that's my whole goal, is getting them in and out, and not booking them into a casting at, rush hour, 5 o'clock at night,
yeah.
So,
So
well,
yeah, I've been doing that for before that, but now I think I focus on my photography and my exhibitions. And last year was really a blow because I had like 6 exhibitions planned out, in South Africa, 2 in New York, one in LA, and everything got postponed. And then yeah, we're just gonna do it like next year, but you cannot really pin a date because people
yeah,
say, yeah, let's try April, but they're not really sure if it's going to be April or May. So for the moment, everything is just hanging in there. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be back okay. Yeah, if not in 5 months, then it's going to be in 7 months or 8 months. So yeah, it's
I
going to
hope
be,
so. Yeah.
okay.
That same,
Da.
I know.
So
Well, thank you so much for joining me and dealing with me moving into my. I had a much better location, but the connection was pretty terrible. But
perfect.
thanks for
What's on the
joining
left
me in
side of
my
the
whirlwind.
window? Is that a
It's a door. It's like a half door, actually.
oh,
I can go right outside without. It's a Dutch door. See?
okay, okay,
So
cool, cool.
very exciting. You can hear the
Yeah.
saw outside perfectly. Oh, the coffee monkey is walking in. Anyway, well, thank you so much for joining me, and I
My
hope to
pleasure.
see you in the States soon. And if I don't see you, I'm coming to Europe. I'm hope well for sure. I'm coming to France next year for the Pro Rider GT Cruising with Jerry Blyenberg, and
Great.
I'm hoping to spend some time in Italy, if not move there. So um, we'll see each other soon, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.